Hey friends, it's week 17 in the NFL season, man, and I can't believe how quick this season has gone by. I guess the old saying that when your time flies when you're having fun, and we have been having fun this season. I got to tell you, playing a meaningless game, the Cowboys versus the Eagles, everything locked up. Hats off to Jerry Jones for finding a way to make an interest in a game that is completely meaningless. To have everybody basically tuning in and talking about the Dallas Cowboys and who's going to start, who's going to play. I mean, Jerry Jones, as much as you may like or dislike him, he is a marketing genius. What else can you say? Here it is, the Redskins are fighting for their playoff lives, and nobody is hardly even talking about, because of all the noise, about Tony Romo. And I'm just still amazed that with the season that Dak Prescott has had, that anybody is still questioning whether or not he should be started. If they win today, that will be a franchise record in wins. Let me say it again. When you think about the Dallas Cowboys, and we're talking Roger Staubach, we're talking Troy Aikman, we're talking about 8-time Super Bowl teams, 5 winners, that this guy, a 4th-round draft pick, will possibly lead the team in more wins than any of those other teams is just amazing. But yet, everybody is looking for him to fail. Than any of those other teams. Let me turn myself off here. It's still amazing. And let me say Happy New Year to everybody out there. And thank you guys for joining and being a part of the Joe Boo Report, man. This has been a magical season. This has been so much fun. And you couldn't ask for much more than what we have. But I hate to say it, we have a lot of Cowboy fans out there that you're never going to satisfy. Last night, because a lot of people, you guys who have been following me for a long time, know my personality. Remember, I've got Joe Boo, a voodoo doll. So I always like to have fun. You know, a lot of times I put Joe Boo in situations that are just plain funny. And if you watch a lot of my stuff that I did starting out, most of it's pretty comical. And it's been a lot of trash talk. Now, a lot of people have come through and have recognized and joined the Joe Boo Report, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys, because I actually give stats and figures, and generally speaking, I'm probably right more than a lot of the talking heads out there. So they haven't necessarily seen that other side of Joe Boo. But, you know, Tom Donnelly, I've known him for about 6 years now. We originally started out in a trash talk group. And we are great friends. I mean, you know, he's the kind of guy that he could say, Mark, I need your help. And he's all the way across the country, and I'd go out and help him. Doesn't mean I like his team. I just like him as the person. So understand that, like last night when I did that video, which was basically a parody of what the NFL, ESPN, and all these talking heads do, is basically take some BS and try and make it into something. I was just kind of showing you guys what is really out there. And any of you guys that took it serious, I apologize if I gave you a heart attack or made you feel bad or pissed you off. I'm sorry, but from time to time, I always throw stuff into what I do for shits and giggles, so to speak. Oh, we not only have wings. Okay, now you guys know I'm superstitious here, because whatever I do the week before, I always follow through. So we've got Joe Boo's chicken wings over here, and we got hot sauce, but let me tease you guys a little bit more. We also have some chili, okay? And with chili, for good old Beasley, you got to have the hot sauce. But see, game day at my house, you can't just stop there with chili and wings. You also have to have some ribs to go with it. So a little bit of food porn for you guys. So we've got our game day meal and stuff going through. And I'm just looking at some of these questions here. Quit the day job. Yeah, I would love to be able to quit the day job, but I actually enjoy doing that. I'm glad some of you guys end up enjoying the humor that I had. Like I said, some people really took it the wrong way. I lost a few subscribers from that, and what I realize is no matter what you do, you can't satisfy everybody. Robert Amen, let me make sure I give you a shout out on that Ezekiel Elliott video, Eating Up. And Gamma Ray, If you guys haven't checked out some of Gamma Ray's site, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel because he's got some really good stuff in there. And I'm hoping I made everybody hungry. But you know what's so funny? And yes, I do still have some shirts. If you want a shirt, go to jobumancave.com. Jobu, Jobu, mancave.com, and you can order one. What channel? That is Gamma Ray's production channel. Check that out. And also too, Dak and Zeke also has another channel. I can't remember the name at this moment, but Dak and Zeke, definitely check him out on Instagram because he's really, really good and does great work and stuff. And I appreciate all the things he's done for me. But what was interesting this morning while I was making my chili, I was watching Game Day Morning, and I'll put this clip up later. I didn't have time to do any videos this morning, but they were bragging about the Green Bay Packers defense. You know, they said, man, that Green Bay Packers defense has been a beast the last 5 weeks. They've had 13 sacks in the last 5 games, and they're going into the playoffs like gangbusters. And then I started thinking, Green Bay? They're talking about how good Green Bay's defense is playing. 13 sacks in the last 5 games, which is good. Don't get me wrong. But the Dallas Cowboys had 14 sacks in the last 4 games. So which is better? I mean, my math, do the numbers, might be a little different than theirs, but they've got 5 games with 13 sacks. We've got 4 games with 14. To me, that sounds like a defense that's playing better. David Irving, in case you guys didn't know, because they don't really report this kind of stuff, has more quarterback pressures the last 2 weeks than anyone. And I mean anyone in the NFL. So bite on that, ESPN and NFL Network. The Dallas Cowboys defense, they're for real because we are 4th in the league in points scoring. And we are trending down from the 18.3. The last 3 games, we've only averaged giving up 17 points. So when they start talking about all these other teams that are playing great defenses, the Dallas Cowboys right now have one of the hottest defenses going into the playoffs. So, that's my little stat for today to give you guys. I just want to know, how do you guys feel about Tony Romo playing? Fake chili. Oh, no, this ain't no fake chili, dog. This is the real chili with a little extra hot sauce on it. What's my prediction for today? I actually think the Cowboys are going to win this one because I think Tony Romo is going to be motivated to play because he is basically auditioning for other teams. From what I'm hearing, Tony Romo petitioned the team to say, I want to play just in case we need me for the playoffs. And I want to get some game action. And basically, he's letting everybody know in the NFL, I'm healed from that back injury. Make me an offer because he's definitely wanting to play someplace. And everybody keeps saying, keep Tony Romo, you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, guys, you don't know what's going to happen with anybody. But you can't afford to keep him at $20+ million on your cap because what most of you don't realize is it's not just about next year. If you keep him this year, then you're also on the chain then for the next year. So if you end up getting rid of him as a June 1st cut, we'll take a $19 million hit. But that's better than the $54 million hit that you could be taking over the next couple of years. So from a standpoint of wanting to keep Tony Romo, you can't spend that much money to sit on your bench because between Dez Bryant and Tony Romo, you're talking about $41 million on your cap, and you can't afford to do that. We have so much money tied up into the offense that basically 2/3 of our money is spent on the offense. We've got to put some more money towards that defense. Unfortunately, thanks, Sarah, about the chili. I can't wait for the game to start either. And it's just like I can't believe it's already game time. And it feels weird now that it's still light outside while we're having a game because we've had so many late-day games. It's been ridiculous. I think Sean Lee definitely is. I think Sean Lee, as well as the rest of the team, has been motivated because people haven't been giving them the props. When you think of, let's say the New York Giants were 13-2. Would they still be doubting the New York Giants? Because I still keep hearing about how great the Giants are, even though Eli Manning has had a crappy year. Eli Manning is a shadow of the team, of the player that won those Super Bowls. But here it is, the Dallas Cowboys, there's all these doubts. Their defense isn't that good. Their rookie quarterback is leaving things on the field. And I'm just kind of scratching myself because on any given play, you could say a quarterback is leaving stuff on the field. You look at Aaron Rodgers the first half of the season, he looked like dog crap. But the two most consistent quarterbacks all season, you have to say, are Tom Brady, which is in a league by himself, and Dak Prescott. Yeah, the game against the Giants was ugly, but that was a cold weather game with a lot on the line. And it's not like Eli Manning had a great game. He had 3 turnovers and should have been 6. So when you look at quarterback play throughout the season, he has been damn near steady. And all those out there are saying, well, Tony Romo is so much better. You forget that even in 2014, we had some stinker games. The first game of the season against the 49ers, which were not a good team. Tony Romo threw 3 picks and, dare I say, looked like he couldn't get the ball downfield. At that game, I looked at that one in 2014 and said, maybe it's time for Tony Romo to retire because he just can't get it done that first game. Now, the rest of the season, he turned it around and played really, really well. But you're going to have some bad games. It's interesting already to see some of the coaches that are already getting fired up. David, come on by, man. I'd definitely like to have some company over here at the house. What I used to do is have football parties and have a bunch of people over, but now that I'm doing more, work and stuff with the Jobu man cave and things, I've been basically watching the games with very few people around, so that way I can talk to all of you guys because this is great. I miss having people over for watching the games and stuff, but I enjoy doing this and talking with you guys. Let me go back here on some of the questions. Sorry, I kind of lost it. My prediction for the game, I think the Dallas Cowboys will win. I think the offense is going to show up, like I said, because I think Tony Romo was playing for somebody, auditioning for somebody else. The defense, we're resting 6 guys on it. So I think some of the guys who are backups are looking to get some too. So don't be surprised if the Cowboys win. My hope is we just get out with some work in without an injury like a preseason game. Who'll get more fantasy points, Butt Fumble or Tony? I think Butt Fumble will, for the simple fact that he'll probably play more than Tony Romo. Although, I got to be honest, I don't do fantasy football. It's just something wrong about rooting for players on other teams. I would just have a hard time saying that I'd like to see Kirk Cousins play well because he's on my fantasy team. So to me, it's just kind of, a little out there. I got no problem with anybody playing it. I'm just not a big fan. You guys notice everything, don't you? I've been so busy running around between my day job and doing this stuff that I hadn't had time to get my hair cut for a while. But, yeah, I finally got that whoosh bush taken care of. Giants or Redskins? I think the Giants are going to probably rest a lot of people. And the Redskins needing that win, I think the Redskins will end up being the ones that'll take that game. But I could be wrong. It would be pretty sad for the Redskins if they lost that game with everything on the line. And, Sarah, I'm like you. Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings have been hell watching these night games between doing a live stream after the game and my post-game video. It's been rough because I've been getting like 3 hours of sleep and then having to get up and go to work. Cowboys' motivation is a winning quarterback. That's right. Well, I'm actually interested to see how Tony Romo plays before the game. I mean, in this game, because it's been, I think, 402 days since Tony's actually played a real game. So we'll see how much rust is there. Hell yeah. Zach, hell yeah. Do you think if we play the Redskins again, we'll win? I think we have a better matchup against the Redskins, and I think that's part of the reason why we get them. The middle finger, yeah, that's one of Joe Boo's foam fingers, and that's for those good old Eagles, because can't stand those Philadelphia Eagles. Any more trick plays this week? I think the Cowboys are going to probably be pretty much vanilla this week, that they're basically going to look at just doing regular plays, get in, get some work in, and get out without getting hurt, because it's hard to game plan with 3 different quarterbacks. Yeah, I think actually, Camaray, I agree with you. I think inside that, with the Cowboys, with the mentality they have right now, that they will definitely be more prepared for that one. You got to think that Dak Prescott playing in Mississippi State, I think he only had 3 games in his whole career where he was in cold weather, and that was just one of those NFC East games. Regardless of the records, when the NFC East teams play, it's always a dogfight, and they're so unpredictable. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys were 1-15 against a Redskin playoff team, and that victory was against the Redskins that they had no business winning. So you kind of have to take those games in stride. Does Dez's lack of success this season because of Dak's willingness to go downfield? No, I don't think so at all, because Dez Bryant, one, he's had the injury, and he's coming back from injury from last year. He's actually dropped a lot of passes. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of passes that have been right there. So I won't put that all on that Dak doesn't go downfield. Now, granted, Dak and the Cowboys' philosophy is we're better off giving the ball around equally, being completely balanced, and consistently just go for Dez. Because when you look at teams like the Steelers that are hot and cold, if Antonio Brown doesn't get fed the ball, all of a sudden that offense gets slowed down. You can't take away one individual piece on the Dallas Cowboys and stop the offense. If Zeke's not having a great day, then you can still hit Cole Beasley or Jason Witten or Williams or Dez Bryant. So by doing what they have done, they've made it a nightmare matchup for any defensive coordinator. Now, I will say this. The biggest key for the playoffs is to get Dez Bryant going deep, because if the defenses have to play cover 2 with Dez in the playoffs, that means that's one less guy they can put in the box. So now you're talking about 7 men in the box, and you've got double coverage on Dez. That leaves single coverage on Cole Beasley and Jason Witten and Williams. So all of a sudden, that changes the complexity of the offense altogether around. Billy Payne. So are you a troll? You think Dax is going to fall down the step and break his arm? Wow. You're pretty bad there, buddy. But hats off to you trolls. And, I ain't mad at you guys coming at me, because I've been hitting you guys pretty hard. And that's one of the great things that I love about football is actually the trash talking. The game only lasts for 3 hours, but the trash talking goes all week long and into the off season and stuff. Wow. So, Billy, I'm taking that you are actually an Eagles fan, because you're just like wishing all kinds of harm on Dak Prescott. I'm not going to say that just yet. Got 99 problems, but the President of the United States isn't one. I would love to see him be the first rookie to do it. And I always find it funny how everybody has quoted that thing. No rookie quarterback has ever won the Super Bowl. Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that haven't happened until they happen. There's been no team that started out, 0-2 that won the Super Bowl until the Dallas Cowboys did it back in the 90s. So you can come up with all of these different statistics of it hasn't happened, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. And sooner or later, whether it's Dak Prescott or somebody else, it'll happen. Billy, so much anger, man. Take it easy. It's just football. I agree with you, Henry. Let's pray that everybody stays healthy, and on both sides of the field, because like I was talking about with my personal injuries and stuff, the stuff that these guys do for our entertainment is unbelievable. And it's not just after football. It's during football right now. At this time of year, it's not really who's healthy. It's who's healthiest, because everybody's got all kinds of pains and aches and everything else. They're getting shot up. They're taking pain pills. They're doing a lot to stay on the field. and a lot more than most people would ever understand or be able to do. Will I be streaming the game? No. Here's the thing. When you show the game itself, NFL kind of gets pretty ticked off. So I'm not trying to get this site shut down, so you have to be really, really careful. In fact, I've used some different music and stuff and credited them for them, and of course they ended up getting shot down too. So unfortunately, you have to be careful about what you do. But I will be live streaming at halftime a little bit, probably at the 2-minute warning through it, because most of you guys end up going away from the stream anyway once kickoff starts, and we are only 4 minutes away from the season final. So wow. Billy Payne, what if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl and lose 40-0? Well, I dare say that it'd be a lot better than the season the Eagles had. I mean, that's the thing that happens. You can't win them all. I would take a Super Bowl loss than being at home with the Eagles on the couch. Go defense. Yeah, I'm very proud of our defense. Like I said, they don't get very much credit. There's not a single Pro Bowler on that defense, yet Sean Lee is second in the league in tackles. They are right now one of the hottest teams on defense. And what can you say? When you can hold teams to 18.3 points a game, more times than not, you're going to win. And they're getting balls, turnovers, and everything else. So, Billy, who is your team then, buddy? Or are you just looking for a little attention? It's Brown. Definitely, I'm looking for him to have a big game, of course. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves on the Super Bowl talk. Right now, let's look at getting through this game healthy and look at 2 weeks from now playing that first playoff game and winning that. Well, Sarah, I hope you're right that we have no weaknesses and that we are unstoppable. I agree with you that if we play our game, running the ball with that big offensive line, and play action teams to death, and play bend, don't break defense, that we can beat anybody. But just remember that you can also lose to anybody. Billy is a bitch. Go Cowboys. I like that, Miles. Who would have thought that Carolina and the Broncos would both be out of the Super Bowl this year? And it goes to show you the importance of having a quarterback, because with the Broncos without a quarterback, they are really, really bad. And how would you like to be the Texans, who have spent $70 million on Brock Osweiler to have him basically fail and not be your starter? So, yeah, I am definitely superstitious before games, which is why Joe Boo, let me pour his rum, has his rum, cigar, and chicken wings every week, because I am, in fact, very, very superstitious. Who would have thought a guy with the voodoo doll would be superstitious? Oh, got to make sure I take care of me, too. A little rum and Coke. And, guys, you see Joe Boo with a lot of rum and stuff. Don't worry about my liver. Don't worry about me, okay? I'm not an alcoholic. In fact, I don't drink that much, because how often do you actually see me drinking? Now, I don't know what happens to Joe Boo's rum. I just know Joe Boo needs a refill. Do I, Billy B, do I do charity? I do actually a lot of charity and stuff with the United Way. We've done some of the Play 60s. We've done playground builds. We've done community stuff. And I've been blessed to have done a lot of great stuff with a lot of great players. We've done Build Like in New Orleans, which is great because we were working on 3 different houses down there after Katrina. We did work in Harlem on a community center for kids. We were in Green Bay where we did a playground build. So, yeah, I do a lot of stuff that's great, and to me, it's always good to give. My mantra is, if you make it on top of the mountain, your job is to help pull the next person up to the top of the mountain. Oh, and yeah, this week I got my jersey. I forgot to wear it the first half last week, and we didn't start off the game too well. So let me go ahead and put that jersey on right now. I've got Rowdy ready to go. I've got my Dallas Cowboy pillow here. and somewhere my soft Dallas Cowboy pillow to throw at the TV if need be. So yes, I am definitely ready to go. It's 1 o'clock. The red zone is on over there, so I can see what's going on with the other teams. I've got, of course, you guys right here, and I've got the Dallas Cowboys that'll be kicking off here any moment now. And so as we get ready to get this thing kicked off, remember, check in at halftime so we can talk about what's going on with the first half and everything else. And definitely check in. We'll live stream after the game so that way we can talk about where we go from here, the playoffs and everything else. And it's just been a fantastic season, guys. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you guys that have become part of the Joe Boo Report. It has been my pleasure and privilege being here with you guys every day on a daily basis. All right, bring on the kickoff. All right, so what do you guys think the score is going to be? Cowboys get the win? Billy Payne, go Cowboys. Yeah, okay. Feed Zeke. I'm hoping they don't play Zeke too much, to be honest with you. 99 Problems. See you later on, man. Thanks for dropping in. Can I fix my camera? I got a problem with my other camera. I'm doing some work and stuff on it. I'll get that squared away by halftime. 35-17 Cowboys. Okay. 27-17 Cowboys. Okay. 42-27. Well, you know, that's possible. I didn't think we would win against the Lions last week. I certainly didn't think we would score 42 points, but the team is feeling it. So let's see if the Cowboys send another message to the rest of the NFL. All right, 49 degrees. So we got some warm weather in Philadelphia. A little bit of wind. Woo! 200-376. You're just stupid, Billy Payne. All right. Here we go, Cowboys. I know I'm ready. Get this thing kicked off. I'm going to eat some chili and some ribs. And here we go. Cowboys with the ball first. All right, guys. I will see you at halftime. All right, let's see what our Cowboys do. Dak is starting. If we win, he gets credits, and he will be have the